Yeah. All right. Let me double check. I should be good to go on Twitch too and YouTube. If anybody is watching over there, I won't be able to monitor the chat over there. So if you can ask any questions that you can here in the Google Meet. Um, and yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'll try to be respectful of everybody's time and try to get through this real quick. So if you have questions, please ask. I'll also post video recordings in Google Classroom as well for those of you that access that. So um, here, Caitlin, I can do this if you would like. All right, so quick housekeeping. After the fall season, I noticed that if you could delete old teams, if you're not planning to use them on League Spot, please get rid of them. It just creates more confusion when we're building the rosters. If I see two varsity Elkhorn teams, I don't know which one is the current active roster and which one is not being used. So if you can, please just delete those. You can remove inactive players. So if they've graduated, just delete them from your roster as well. Um, and again, that helps me identify what is what is an eligible team or one that is going to be used for the season. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and we'll kick off with Fortnite here. It is trios. It is build mode. That's the same mode that it was last year. Um, Fortnite is really nice that it is available across all platforms. So no matter what your school has, you should be able to play together. Whether that's PC, PS5, Xbox, Switch. The only thing I don't recommend playing from is your mobile device um, or an iPad. So if you have iPad kids, I would not recommend that. Basic outlines, no emotes, dances, sprays, tags, don't need it. Um, there are no banned skins unless they are banned in pro play, but to my knowledge that there may only be one entire skin in the game that is banned in pro play. But that's pretty much a general rule, is that nothing is banned unless it's explicitly said in our rules. Scoring, 1 point for each elimination. First place gets you like an extra 20 points for a victory royale. So it's available on the rules doc that shows you every single place that you get, how many points that you get, which that's going to be really important when we start talking to as far as linking your Epic ID to your League Spot account. Do not change your profile name because it breaks the system. So when I go to upload a replay file, it matches what you have linked to League Spot with what is available in the replay file. And if you go from truck guy 123 to all of a sudden, I don't know, Ford Raptor 123, it's not going to make those connections. And now the points won't get automatically assigned in League Spot, which then means I have to manually go through a CSV file and try to pair and go through every school roster to see if that makes sense to who that is. Okay. Um, we did change our format a little bit this year based upon the feedback that we received from coaches and kind of what we saw with our first season of Fortnite is that there was a large skill disparity between lobbies. So what we're doing instead is we are going to have varsity on Wednesday, JV Thursday, middle school Friday. Um, the reason why we have to do across 3 days like this is because we have the special account from Epic that allows us to create a spectator lobby so that way it can be streamed. And unfortunately, we only have one of those accounts that can't be logged in multiple times in different locations. So varsity, you're allowed one varsity team. You can pick your time slot. Um, if you're not one of the first 33 teams to get in that time slot, you get bumped to the later one. Okay. And so you must have a full eligible roster of at least 3 players before I'm adding you. Okay. And I'm doing the adding. I know some of you are already looking. I've hidden the seasons, and that's because in the past we've had teams that have signed up with no eligible players and then don't end up showing for the week, and then they've taken a spot from a team to be able to compete. So we are a little bit more strict this year in order to ensure that we have full lobbies, that everybody who signs up for a time gets their time. Okay. Um, JV, you can have 1 trio in each time slot, so you can support up to 9 active players every Thursday. Middle school, middle school will be on Friday. Same thing. You can have 2 trios. So to give you an idea, right now I will be staying at school until at least 6 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and 5 p.m. on Fridays to make this happen. So just I want that out there. So our middle school students able to play at JV. If they would rather play on Thursday JV, go for it. I just note that we have a number of middle school programs that have reached out and are like, our kids aren't very good at building. Can we have a middle school league? And like, so that's to accommodate them. Yeah. The only thing that middle school won't be able to do is play varsity. So here are important match day procedures. Number 1, I will log in at 3:15. I will create a lobby. I will put a lobby code in League Spot for your time slot. You have to then enter it. There is a full document on the website, and I can go ahead and link that in registration too. But it basically goes step by step of where and how to join, what you need to select. Your team leader enters the lobby code. Your team leader would enter the lobby code. If you get the matchmaking error, which does happen, there's a list of steps here as far as like how to try to recreate and get around the matchmaking error. It does happen. Unfortunately, it's a small indie development company called Epic Games, and I don't know, it just doesn't work perfect every time. We do have to try to start as close to 3:30 as possible, because if we push back, then it pushes the 4:15 lobby back, and then it pushes the 5 p.m. lobby back. Sometimes you may even get dropped out of a lobby, and it's just the way that it is. Okay. Um, Number 4, if you win, or if you're number 2, if you can send me the replay file, I can find the website and I can link that onto the rules document too. So if you win or if you get second place, just send me the replay file, because then I can just upload that to League Spot, and it parses through all the data and assigns points to whichever team earned them. This is where, again, if you change your player name, you're not going to be awarded the points, and then it slows down the match reporting process. So middle school team could potentially take a spot from a JV team in a lobby. It could. It just really depends on what your program looks like, I guess, and the skill. Because if you're having a middle school team playing in JV, they're probably a JV caliber team anyways. That's kind of up to you to decide if you want to tell them that they have to only play in middle school with their peers. Again, we've had some schools that have had, I'm going to say, like unreal level players that are very good. I know we've had in the past middle school players that were top 500 in Overwatch, but we forced them to play JV even though they could carry a whole varsity team. Playoffs, very simple. Top 11 from the 3 varsity pools will advance on February 26th. It'll be 3 rounds, points accumulate. Top 3 will be recognized. I get this question every year from students. Why don't we get a state championship? Well, in order to rent 100 PCs, have them shipped to a facility, and to then have a venue that has the capable internet access that isn't going to charge us 20 plus $1,000 for this 1 day event. It's just the way that it is. If any of your students would like to write me a very big check, I make it out to cash. That's totally fine, um, and I can make it happen. So I'm trying eventually. Okay, I will eventually try to get to 100 PCs. It's just not in the cards right now. So cool. Caitlin, you ready for Mario Kart, or you want me? Okay.
And each team per game will be running 3 cups. So for a total of 12 races in all. Earlier it was asked if the full the full amount of games actually needs to be played. Um, I again very highly encourage play all 3 rounds, even though it's a best 2 out of 3. Um, you could potentially have some schools that just don't get players to play otherwise, because again, this goes into how our teams are consisted. Our teams are consisted of 3 to 6 players. Each player is allowed to play a total of 2 cups total. What we're doing is hoping to enable a majority of people to play, while or as many people to play without having to rely on Nintendo servers